foremost, I mean, my dad's a firefighter and stuff, so like I want to know a little bit about like your story and like.
Yeah. Okay. So, I grew up with in an entrepreneur household, and it was different than the whole make money online space. My dad's taking companies public, so I was around Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, top level partners. My dad's biggest investor was Carl Icahn. So I grew up in a household where it was very, very high level stuff, but it wasn't the kind of make money online space. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I really, really wanted to serve in the military. Went to college, joined the Army National Guard, and I was doing ROTC. And then decided I would just stick with the National Guard, and I wanted to be a firefighter. During that time, I mean, you know, firefighters don't make a ton of money.
Yeah.
So one thing that's been great for my dad that helped me is I never got anything from my dad except advice. And the advice is, you know, that's worth more than anything he could have given me monetarily. But you know, with that, I was going to start all this on my own without even letting him know, and that's what I did. And so it started with affiliate marketing by creating a blog, and then started getting hit with ads on Amazon FBA, and then drop shipping. Went to Thailand. I met guys in person that had, one guy in particular had been traveling for like the last 9 months and like working less than an hour a day. Yeah. So came back, fired me up, took several drop shipping courses. First took an Amazon FBA course, did that, and then got into drop shipping. But I wasn't watching YouTube, and I was coming at it from how I was raised. And I would say one of my biggest strengths, at least in e-commerce, is the branding aspect because of how I was raised. And so I made a lot of mistakes as far as, you know, doing things that probably took too much of my time and money, but helped out for the long term. Exactly. Just because I had a little bit of a different mindset going into it. And so, you know, I've been doing that for a few years now, and then now, you know, we're working on Dropship Fortune 2.0, which I've had my course now for a year. 2.0 is completely revamped. This is not just drop shipping. This will be the best e-commerce course. We've got, you know, white labeling, private labeling in here. So how to start with AliExpress drop shipping, go into that, or if you want to go from drop shipping to having the business model where you are essentially flipping stores and selling stores, you know, and all pro on demand. So this is, you know, what our main project is right now. But we've also got a big move coming up. I'm not releasing what that is yet, but we've got a big move coming up. And then I'm starting a brick and mortar business, and that's kind of like the big deal. But that came from all of this.
Yeah, and I think it's especially like, it's only gonna get way bigger from here. Yeah. Especially with like Toys R Us closing and all that stuff, people are gonna get.
Oh, e-commerce is. That's why when people are like, "Oh, drop shipping's dead," I was like, "You're dumb." Yeah. Drop shipping, the business model, is gonna be around forever. I mean, it's been around since the '50s. Dropshipping with AliExpress has, you know, a lifespan, but we're not even close to the end of that. But then it's, you know, the next thing with dropshipping, but this is where I'm always teaching longevity too. But it's like you said, it can be used as a gateway to much, much, much bigger things.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
My biggest piece of advice, don't get boxed into all what everybody on YouTube and Instagram is doing. Yeah. Because it is limiting. That's one thing that I've been very strategic on who I collab with and stuff like that, because some of these people aren't businessmen, they're just, you know, make money online, get rich quick. So just always have the mindset of, you know, being an entrepreneur, which it sounds like that's what you guys are. Yeah, so, you know, don't kind of lose that for the game. I'm always for, you need mentors. I mean, I've got mentors in e-com, and then I've got, you know, up to, you know, my dad and his friends that are more high level. So, you know, mentors are, and they'll fire you up if anything else. So, and it's hard being in this area. There's not many people out here doing what we're doing. And so I can tell you from me, like flying out to London just to meet with Iman Gaji and doing the 10X Growth Con, those are enough of kind of lighting a fire under my butt kind of deal that it'll just help. When it comes to mindset, when it comes to, you know, habits, when it comes to stuff, when it comes to how to find investors, because y'all are, you know, in this space right now that is what you're seeing online with the YouTubers and everything. But if you go down the route of being a high-level entrepreneur, you're going to need to get investors at some point.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, which that's, if you've never dealt with it, that's a whole game in itself. So yeah, mentors are definitely something you want.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, obviously you make pretty good money, but I was wondering, I was like, why are you staying here? Like, why not go somewhere else? We were just not like a downfall.
I am getting ready to move.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not going to LA. I am going to a spot that not really many people are at yet, but getting out there to have more kind of hands-on, high-level mentorship. But the main thing is the market and the tech out there. Everything's moving out that way. So, yeah, I've got a big brick and mortar business that has to do with young entrepreneurs that I'm doing as soon as I get out there, which will be in the next few months. And then I'm buying up real estate like crazy, because it's going to double within the next couple of years. At least in the e-com tech influencer space is the new LA blended with Seattle, blended with New York.
Yeah.
It's kind of that just perfect middle ground.
For like us too, with this store, whatever future it holds, which that would actually probably determine what we do next, but pretty much like your best advice to us for what we would do next, whether we, like if this store takes off, whether we should sell a website or start focusing on something else or open up another Shopify store with like a,
kind of based off what I see in the market.
Yeah, like what should we pretty much like have our mindset on to pursue next? I mean, obviously we're full force this right now, but like pretty much like your best advice for the situation we're in when we're starting it. So.
I mean, I would expand see the potential of this store. If it's got quite a bit, then start white labeling, private labeling. If you guys don't want to do that, which I mean, I would, if you do that, it's only going to help your price of actually selling the store go through the roof even more. When you sell and decide to get out and do something else, if you want to stay in e-com, you know, I would. That's where I would recommend you keep the store. You know, white label and private label, and really be building it up, even if you want to go the agency route. Okay. Because this store is going to help you with everything else you do. Plus, it's going to be a lot of money for you. The more you can get to where you're consulting rather than done for you services, the better. So when you see agencies that they're running Facebook ads for all that, that's great. But you're gonna, if you scale up, you're gonna have to start hiring a lot of people. Yeah. Whereas if you're more the consulting, and you then get to where you're high ticket consulting because you've got the results to prove it, that's when it's massive. But starting out, you can do more, like you can run Facebook ads for people once you learn this. You can consult with them on website design, all of that, do everything that comes in for essentially how you created an e-commerce brand. And this is where if you get into white labeling, private labeling, that skill set is so worth it. And we're on the, I wouldn't even say we're on the beginning stages yet. It's going to pop off soon, just like print on demand has started to pick up. Yeah, white labeling, private labeling, people have been talking about it, but it's not, people aren't accepting it yet, which is the same thing as Amazon FBA. Yeah. It's just, it's not become this thing yet. That will be the thing in probably a year from now, that everybody knows you need to white label and private label, and if you have that skill set, that's massive. The other big one, and this is, you're gonna have to go more personal brand route with this, but agencies that essentially build back ends for personal brands, so for courses, for conferences, stuff like that, to where you're doing click funnels, sales funnels, you're doing the webinar for a course, you're running ads to that, those ones, because what you do with that is you don't take a flat check, essentially, you take a profit share. So if the course is $1,000 course and you're doing all this, you're taking over from like 20 to 40% per sale. And if you're controlling the whole back end, it's just the other person's personal brand, this is massive. And I know a couple people in this space that are like making 7 figures doing this, because they do it for several different people. So those with the agency routes is kind of what I'd recommend, but this is where don't, you know, get creative too outside the space of, you know, the social media marketing. These are kind of the easy ones to get into, especially with not as much upfront capital and all that, plus your skill set. but you're gonna have capital after you do some of this stuff to if you want to do some type of brick and mortar. If you want to essentially create a new software, create an app, I mean, essentially then get to the point where later on down the line you could do something like venture capitalism. Like that's my end goal. Like I want in 20 years essentially to have a VC firm. Okay. Which is completely different than e-com and all that. So it's just always kind of play off your skill sets, but have your short, medium, and long-term goals kind of established. And if your long-term goals is more, you know, I want to be here, here, and here, and you don't know what the business model is yet, that's fine. Just kind of have that laid out, and you need to have your businesses perform to that level.
How do you know if a product is very saturated like that? Because
many times, many times if you already see that there's a lot of ads running on it, then that's a pretty good sign that's saturated. That doesn't mean there's no opportunity. I still recommend testing it to see if you can get any out of it, but that's why I recommend those products with the medium to low orders counts on AliExpress. The ones that have been undiscovered are going to be the massive, massive, massive winners. Because if you're, you know, first, second, or even third into a product, a big winning product, you're going to make a lot more than if, you know, you're 7th, 8th, or 9th into that product.
Right.
So that's why I recommend testing some of those very popular products to kind of get your piece of the pie. But when you can actually create the pie of, you know, an undiscovered product, that's when it's massive.
One good thing I can tell you about you, the military, I would say more so than anything I learned in the military, is this: mental fortitude. That's why I talk about it, and that's why I do those, like the Motivation Monday with David Goggins and stuff like that, is callousing your mind, and that's where military will help you out. Maybe not so much aviation as it would infantry, but you're still going to have that. You're gonna have that ingrained in you. Just keep building that. Okay. That's why, you know, like today I'm gonna get done with work today and I'm gonna go do a 12-mile run. I'm not a runner. Back in college was a bodybuilder. I put on Muscle Easy. I don't have the body type for running. Yeah, it's all about, I try every day to do something I hate or something that puts me out of my comfort zone, because that builds up that mental fortitude. Because what it comes down to as an entrepreneur, you will have those massive roadblocks, that it'll make you think there's no way you can continue on. Almost every time, no matter what it is, almost every time, there's some solution or workaround. You just have to find it. I don't do the wake up at 4:30. That works for some people. I'm a strict believer, you know, in having everything on. Find out what diet works well for you. Find out what physical activity. Like me the other day, I told him I had a rest day, not working out or anything. Yeah. I had a rest day the other day, and we're balls to the wall right now. I did not like not working out because I didn't have that stress relief at the end of the day, everything like that. Have your diet right. Have whatever physical activity works best for you, and then, you know, sleep. Find out what type of sleeper you are. You want to be where you align, not try to force something you're not. Now, depending on what business model you're in, it will benefit you more to be up early or anything like that. One thing I can tell you now, kind of Google started it, but business is all about performance. So the days of, unless you're on Wall Street, the days of being in the office by 7 and staying till, you know, 6 or 7, it's kind of different now. It's you know, we were talking about his holiday schedule, and I said, as long as you get you get your shit done, you take whenever you want, you know what I mean? It's all performance. So the point is, don't feel like you need to get up at 4:30 because you see someone on YouTube. And that's one thing you got to be careful of too, is comparing yourself. And I still do this. So you gotta go ahead and find out what works best for you and trickle down on it, because that's how you're going to succeed. Everybody's different. That's why me coming from military and fire department, I do a lot of things different
than other people just because of my background. But find out what works. It's going to take experimentation. But once you kind of get into the groove of things, it will help you out.